Welcome to Men of Abundance, the podcast for those looking to level up their lives by hanging out with some of the greatest leaders and established professionals in our community, living a life of integrity, honor, and the abundance mentality. Prepare to pay it forward with your host, former Army medic turned lifestyle entrepreneur, Wally Carmichae.
What is going on, Men of Abundance? I am Wally Carmichae, your founder and host of the Men of Abundance podcast. Today's episode is a Friday episode, which I refer to as Abundance and Prosperity Business Mastery. And if you're brand new to Men of Abundance or you're just coming back, you didn't know about this change, what I do is during the week, I have 2 to 3 interview sessions where I have conversations with amazing people in the world who are living their life of abundance and prosperity in their own right and somehow paying it forward to the community. And we talk about their kick in the gut moment, and it's a really great conversation for you to gain some amazing value bombs and some great nuggets to implement into your life and in some cases into your business, because I have a tendency to talk to a lot of entrepreneurs in many different industries that may be of interest to you in one way or another. Now, today's episode came about because I do talk to a lot of business owners, and this podcast, Men of Abundance, evolved into a coaching business where I was coaching men who want to live a life of abundance, and I found that most of them, quite frankly, were entrepreneurs. And since I have skills in marketing and business strategies and just an amazing passion for learning more about that, I figured what better way to learn more about business strategies and enhance more of what I know than to share what I already know and learn from each individual business. So that's what I've been doing for about the last year, and I'm absolutely loving it. So here on Men of Abundance, I'm going to be sharing some of the most common issues, the most common mistakes, and the most amazing strategies that I use to work with various business owners in many different industries. Now, I'm also going to share with you right up front that many of the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you, I've learned from other business strategists. In fact, I'm networked with well over 100 business strategists from around the world who work in darn near every single industry there possibly is, everything from dog walkers to Fortune 500 companies. And they use these strategies in all of those businesses to greatly increase the revenues and profits and the systems within those businesses and boost the creativity. And just think about this. When you go to the hospital or you go to a doctor, would you rather sit down with a doctor who has come up with his own strategies to help you in whatever situation you're having, or would you rather work with a doctor who is collaborating with many other doctors who specialize in that particular system of the body? Well, you'd rather have the latter, right? Then why would you do anything in any other part of your life, and specifically in business? So when I decided that I wanted to start helping business owners in the areas that I could see where they needed the most help, I didn't just take it upon myself on my own knowledge. I wanted the most updated knowledge with data backing those strategies so that I could have predictable results each and every time. And that's why I've connected myself with all of these other coaches. I hired a couple coaches myself, and I learned from them, and I continue learning from them, and I'm learning from this other network of coaches. And when I get stumped or run into an issue I can't resolve on the spot, then I go back and communicate with my coaches and all of the network of coaches that I'm connected with so that I can get the best answer for the best result for your business. So today we're going to start with your website. And the reason why we're starting right here is because this frustrates the heck out of me. And every time I go to an ad, rather the ad is in the yellow pages, the newspaper, I hear it on the radio, I see a billboard, or I see the advertisement on, or the sponsored ad or the advertisement on Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. I click on the link, if there is one, because most people are just providing their phone number, which is a big no-no. And I'll get more into that in a minute. But I'll click on the link, and the link will go to their web page. And I have to tell you, some of these web pages are absolutely gorgeous. I know either these individuals have some amazing skills, or they've got a team on their side that they're paying, or they've paid somebody to really ramp up and make a beautiful site that's fast, easy to navigate through, extremely SEO friendly, and all of the other amazing things that a great web developer can come up with and do for you and your website. And I know that you must look at that website like it's your newborn baby. You are super proud of it. It's gorgeous. It's got your logo up there. It's got a picture of you standing on a stage if you're a speaker. Many of these amazing websites have the slideshow going through the top fold, or maybe even a video, and just absolutely gorgeous. And all of that's generally what I see in the top fold of the website. And what I mean by top fold, if you don't know, is before you have to scroll down. Just that as soon as the page opens up, either on the phone or on the computer, what I generally see is a beautiful logo, the name of the business. Generally in the middle of the page is a short caption that's inlaid over either your video or a beautiful picture. Maybe it's something of you or in reference to something that you do, generally not. And the caption usually talks about what you do and who you are. A couple other things I'll see regularly at the very top of the page is something that says something like contact us now, free estimate, call us now, and then a phone number. And that's generally the only offer on the entire website, unless occasionally after about 10 or 15 seconds, or maybe as I get ready to click off the website, a pop-up will come up that gives me the opportunity to get onto your email list. Now think about this. I'm a customer and I'm looking for your product or service. I don't know you. I'm just searching around. I'm looking for information. And the only offer that you give me is to either call you or get on your email list. I don't know you. I don't know enough about you yet. You have gotten my attention some way, somehow I got to your website. Well, generally, I'm looking for your website because I'm stalking business owners, but your prospects generally aren't finding your websites. And if they are, then you may have had a really compelling ad that took them to your website, so you did interrupt them somehow and get their attention so that you could make an attempt to engage with them. But then when they get to your site, you're not engaging them. And that's why they're clicking off your site and going no further. They're not waiting to get educated from your site, and they're definitely not going to take your offer, especially if it's call me or get on my email list. And you literally just have about 15 seconds to engage them to the point to where they are going to request and look for more information on your site and take you up on a compelling offer. Now here's the thing. Your website is a great place to show your authority and share more information, and if it's SEO friendly, then people are going to search it and they're going to find it on the search engines and all this kind of stuff. But when people are looking and really considering on getting more information and taking the offer and actually making the purchase, they are not going to do it from your website unless you're able to enter the conversation going on in your prospect's mind at the time that they are having it. And there are two questions that you have to answer. One, there's a problem that your prospect has that they don't want, and there's a solution that they want but they don't have. Now, sometimes you have to educate your prospect on your product. So for instance, let's say a sunroom. I don't even know if you know what a sunroom is, and that's the point. Many don't, and only like maybe 2% of all homeowners either know what a sunroom is or know how beneficial a sunroom would be for their house, how it would add to their property value, how it adds on an additional space to their room without actually being a room. There are many other benefits to it. But if you have a product out there that isn't common knowledge, is kind of new to the marketplace, or something that's unique that you need to educate people on, like say a really fancy, amazing massage chair, then you have to get in front of them and explain the benefits of having such a product or service. And here's the other thing. There's a buyer's journey that most business owners don't take into consideration. Only about 1% of the people that are ever going to purchase your product are what I refer to as now buyers, meaning they are getting in their car or they're going online and they're looking for a specific product and they're going to buy it right now today because they need it. Say, for instance, new tires or a pizza. But many businesses don't fall into that category, and even if they did, you still have to earn the trust and provide enough education to your prospects so that when they are ready to buy, you are the only person, you are the only company that they will go to for that particular product or service. And you can only do that by understanding the buyer's journey, understanding that most prospects, like over 99%, are just looking for information. I mean, think about it. When you're getting ready to buy a product, whether it's a car or a pizza, don't you do your research, or don't you go to a company that you already have developed trust with and you already know that they provide a quality product or service? Think about how you gained that information. All right, so here's how to make a few tweaks in your marketing and in your website, or at least where you're sending your marketing to. I encourage you not to send your marketing to your website, but to a capture page or a squeeze page of some sort, and use the conversion equation. This conversion equation is a way to interrupt, engage, educate, and then make the offer. So instead of at the first page of your website or wherever you're sending your marketing to, if it is a capture page or a squeeze page, then you should have a headline, which is the interrupt. It's got to be something that grabs their attention and gets into the mind of the prospect. Remember, get into the conversation taking place in your prospect's mind at the time that they are having it. Now, when writing your headline for your marketing, or sometimes your headline is something that you'll say either at a party or when somebody asks you, hey, what do you do? The headline is the first opportunity that you have to interrupt them and to make sure that that headline has activators in it. Those activators must be based on things that are important and relevant to the prospect. And that headline must engage them to either ask a follow-on question or continue reading through your marketing through your site. Just to give you an idea, a daycare that I looked at had headlines, and all of these are actual words that were in headlines for daycares that I looked at. Safe, nurturing, and creative environment, optimize your child's development, acclaimed by thousands of parents, accredited by industry professionals, a leader in early childhood care and education. Those headlines all speak to the daycare, not to the prospect. And chances are your website talks all about me, I. It says nothing to the prospect. So now consider that you have one of your young children or a child that you're putting into daycare or is already into daycare, and you see an ad that says, ever felt like your daycare treated your child like a number instead of a little person? And over in the corner of the ad, there's a 5-year-old child hunkered down in a corner crying. Is that going to get your attention? Absolutely, especially if you saw this ad that I'm looking at. Now let's move on to the subheadline, which is the engage. Now the engage is going to be the continued information, because first I already interrupted you and now I got your attention. So now you want to be engaged because the brain naturally wants to be engaged with relevant information. And this is where a lot of people are getting this wrong. A lot of ad companies, a lot of marketing companies out there, all the big guys out there, they're really good at engaging. They'll engage you with a baby or an animal or just something outrageous, but then the following information isn't engaging. It's not relevant to you. So say for instance you're a golfer and you see Tiger Woods on the screen, on the TV screen. It's going to get your attention. But then when you notice that Tiger Woods is driving a Buick and you're not in the market for a car right now, and specifically not a Buick, then you disengage because that information is not relevant to you. So after you do and interrupt your prospect, you have to engage them with relevant information. So let's go back to the daycare and stay on that theme. Remember that the headline said, ever felt like your daycare treated your child like a number instead of a little person? The follow-up engage subheadline would simply say, how to ensure your child gets personal, loving care, one-on-one attention at daycare. Now that's engaging because you already got in the head of the prospect and you're touching on their emotional hot buttons. And then the educate of this particular ad would simply be to add some stats and figures of daycares in the area that you've already done the work for as a business owner. You've already gone out and gathered all this information, put some of it there on the website, which most people aren't going to read through, but then provide your offer. And let's make this very clear. Your offer is not to make the sale. Your offer is to gather their information, name and email, that's all you need, so that you can provide them with a report with information about the product and service that they are looking for, not necessarily about you or your business. Look, your prospect wants to be able to make the best decision possible. They're looking for the best value, not the best price. The only time that your prospects are searching and making a decision based on price is when all other businesses and all other services are exactly the same and providing the same information about being bonded and certified and we care and we've been in business for 14 years or we're a family-owned business and we have 2 dogs and some grandchildren. Again, that's all me, I. They want to know information that is going to serve them. And while being certified and bonded and all of that good stuff is important, it's not what needs to be in your marketing because everybody else has that there too. Quit using up your marketing space and your web space with that kind of information that everybody else can say. Let me give you one more example that really drives this point home. Consider an example of a moving company. Now, most moving company ads, their websites have headlines that say something brilliant like moving, and most of them have their company name and their logo, and along the headline, along the top of the page of the website or the marketing material. Or they'll say something like local and long distance. Now, why in the world would you ever say something like that? However, by changing their marketing so it followed the conversion equation, their new ad and web copy pulled an astounding 12 times more than their original ad. They went from averaging just 70 calls per month to 955 calls. And their conversion rate skyrocketed from 16% to 68%. Let me put this another way. This moving company, just by changing what their ad said, went from generating 11 sales per month to over 649 sales per month. Their new ad generated so much new business, they had to partner with 4 other competitors in their area because they simply could not handle the demand on the service. And by the way, those same 4 companies bought out that moving company 9 months later for $2 million, all due to following the conversion equation in their marketing. So the original ad for this particular moving company was a full page in the yellow pages, and this lady had to get this ad in like right away or she was literally going to go bankrupt, and this ad cost $3,000. This ad was changed to the following. The headline was this: last year, over 4,350 complaints and lawsuits were filed against moving companies in Dallas. Got your attention? That would definitely get my attention if I was in Dallas and getting ready to move and looking through the yellow pages or searching on Google and coming up with this page on the website. And this gets the prospect's attention because it hits the prospect's hot buttons of uncertainty and problems that might arise during the move. And I don't know about you, but I've moved a lot in my life. Being in the Army for 25 years, I've moved multiple times, and every time I moved, something always came up missing or broken, or the house I was moving out of or into got damaged in some way. I mean, any number of things. Anyway, then the ad goes on to describe what to look for, what you should specifically watch out for when moving. It educates the prospect onto what standards they should use to find the best value when hiring a moving company. Anyway, this ad changed from talking all about themselves, how we're bonded and certified, a big picture of the truck, the name of the company, all this other kind of stuff, we move long distance and short distance, to just educating the prospect on the process of moving and how to find the best moving company. It put it all on the prospect. It gave the prospects all the information they were looking for on one page. Therefore, they felt a trust with that particular company, even though that company didn't say anything about themselves. And that's how this one moving company got all of those results. Basically went from the verge of bankrupt to selling the business to competitors 9 months later for over $2 million. Listen, guys, when I sit down with companies and do just this one strategy, I find anywhere from $10,000 to over $50,000 in their business just from making this one change. And I've literally got hundreds of strategies that I use with businesses over the course of a year. But I've got the top 8 that I usually get started with in my book, No BS Business Breakthrough. And I'm in the process of writing my second book, so I need your help. My first book on this subject was very straightforward and just had those strategies. But this next book, I want to have more case studies. So what I would like to do, if you would be willing to help me, is sit down with me for about 45 minutes. Let me go through the presentation and use your business, your website, your information in your business, and I can get through 2 to 3 of these strategies in about 45 minutes, depending on how quickly we get through it. I certainly can't get through all 8, but I'll get through 2 to 3 of the strategies, and along the way, I would like to have your feedback in how you feel it would make an impact in your industry. Now, you'll walk away with these strategies and they're all yours. Everything we talk about, I share, you can go implement in your business that day. And instead of me charging my normal fee of what I charge for this to go over with business owners, since you're a subscriber to Men of Abundance and you listen to this whole episode, all I ask in return is your professional feedback based on your industry so that I can add that to any articles that are going to lead up to the book and in the book itself. So if you feel like you can help me with this and you can get on a 45-minute Zoom call with me to see how 2 to 3 of these 8 strategies will impact businesses in your industry, then go to menofabundance.com/help Wally. menofabundance.com/help Wally. All the additional information is there. I got a short video there for you and everything else that we'll be going over. Either way, listen, I greatly appreciate you. I hope you got something out of this episode. If you did, be abundant in your actions today, pay it forward, and share this with others. Now, go out and live your life of abundance.